guys? We're Tabletop Vibes, and today we're taking a look at Button Kingdoms by Around the Stump Games. Steven, what did you think?
Okay, first off, thematically, the game is so cute. So essentially, you are playing with a cast of characters that are all stuffed animals. Picture yourself like back being a kid and using your childlike imagination to pretend that your stuffed animals are trying to like take over the forts of some of your other rivals. And so you've got like a blanket fort, like blanket pillow fort. You've got like a tree fort, a block fort, a cardboard box fort.
Yeah, that was a good one.
And you're all just playing for domination, and so you're trying to take out all of your opponents and
seize the throne of their forts.
The most victory points.
Yes. Yeah, it's just like really cool because it kind of takes you back, like Steven says, nostalgia as a kid, building your fort, getting your stuffed animals, make believe of this world where you have to steal each other's thrones.
Yeah.
They're capture the other person's fort, your brothers and sisters or whoever in the other room, and ascend to the throne, right?
Yeah.
And then this game just does it really well. It's a prototype. This is the deluxe version, so I'm pretty sure this is what most of it will look like, but everything's subject to change.
Yep.
But like, it is beautiful. You will see different thrones in the game they have. When I got to play it, they were painted, which was really cool, especially the little recliner chair throne. It is adorable.
Yeah.
Anyways, this game is a simultaneous deck building, battler, and has like some negotiation.
Yeah, it's got a bidding mechanic in there, so there's a little something for everyone. There's the gameplay is pretty varied, so that's pretty
So Steven,
nice.
tell us what we do first.
Yeah, so you're going to go through rounds, and these are going to go in sequences. So the first one is draw. So you're going to draw 5 cards up into your hand, and those are from your total deck. And as the game progresses, you're going to be acquiring more cards in this deck. You'll shuffle it up at the beginning of every round and draw the top 5. Hopefully they're what you need. Sometimes they won't be, which we'll get to, but that is how you start, by doing the draw phase. Yeah. There are certain treasure cards that will allow you to have more than 5, but we'll get there too.
Right. Every single player starts with their own fort. In the deluxe version, they're beautiful neoprene mats. You start with your own fort. Obviously, you can pick whichever one speaks to you the most. Everybody takes their own starting cards, and you will then draw 5 cards from that start.
Yeah. And so then we move into the day phase. Now, all the cards that you are drawing up and holding in your hand are going to be dual purpose cards. They'll have a day phase side and a night phase side. And you'll decide when you're looking at them, do I want to play these to give myself the day benefit or the night benefit? And you can decide how many you want to play during day phase versus night phase. Usually the things that you are going to do in the day are going to get you resources, and then all of like your attack and defense usually happens at night.
Yeah, so usually in the day phase, you're going to be wanting to try to make buttons. The buttons are currency and victory points at the end of the game. They also help you pay your opponents to buy stuffed animals from the Bazaar, which we'll get into. And so it's very cool. I think that we talked, and it's really cool from the designer standpoint, is all the money are buttons, 1s, 5s, and 10s, and they're denoted on the actual little buttons, which makes it...
Yeah, the way the thread kind of loops through the buttonholes creates the I, the V, or the X. It's super clever. I thought that was a great detail.
So that's really cool. And then so you're all going to then play simultaneously, which is cool because it moves you through the phases very quickly and well. So everyone will play down their cards. Again, in the first phase, you're going to want to play probably 2 to 3 cards. You want to hold cards back for the night phase to attack and do different things, which we'll get into. So then after everybody plays simultaneously, everybody takes what their cards give them, and then you'll move to the next phase.
Yeah, and that's the first time that you're going to the Bazaar. So at the Bazaar, you're going to see 3 cards kind of in this open market where you're going to be able to take some tokens that you have.
You have 2 purchases and an iStone. The iStone denotes who's starting where, and then also how much money someone might pay for you for the card that you're at. And so this is where it gets a little bit more like intrigue and subterfuge, because you can totally be like, I'm going to go play in the middle area. Yeah. I want that guy. And you can not play there at all.
Yeah, so you're going to place a token hidden on all 3, and then you'll reveal, and depending on the layout and the player count, how many people that want to be buyers, how many people that want to be sellers. If everyone wants to buy and no one wants to sell, nothing happens. If someone wants to sell then they get to choose, if there's multiple buyers, who they want to sell to.
Right.
Again, you can strategically determine which of your opponents is going to be the least, damaging to you to sell this card to, and then they pay you in buttons to buy that for the amount that you have on your iStone. So that's a really cool mechanic as well. There's also a third option where it's coerce, where you could potentially get a card without having to pay for it,
which is kind of definitely the goal. So you will then use that, and you're going to move that around too, putting it face down, kind of playing again that subterfuge. Where's it at? What are we going to do face? Because if nobody buys there, or there's not a buyer and a seller, you can then take the card for free, which is ultimately the best play that you want to do.
Yeah.
But if another person has the same idea, that card gets destroyed.
Yeah.
It goes to the trash.
Unfortunately.
We don't want that to happen.
Yeah.
But it does in war.
So the cards that you're bidding on here in the Bazaar have a few different kind of faction types that these stuffed animals can be a part of. So you've got peasants, which are going to be simple cards with basic abilities, beast cards that are usually like the aggressors, like high attack cards. You've got royals that are more powerful than peasants. You've got mercs, which are going to charge you in order to use that card, so you're going to have to pay in buttons to get the effect of that. And then you've got spies, which are sabotage cards.
These hurt.
Yeah, they don't go into your hand, they go into another player's hand. You get to assign them
discard pile
as soon as you draft them. Yeah. And these are things like negative attack points. So when they're choosing in the night phase to attack you, it's not going to be as powerful an attack. You're subtracting from that.
Yeah, and so as you buy these cards from the Bazaar, or you don't get a card, you're going to get a new iStone, possibly changes up what order you're going to play in, which order the attack night phase attack goes in. So it's really cool how it kind of interchanges on the Bazaar board for what you're putting down, and then getting back. And then at the end of a turn, you're going to collect back all your tokens, and then you go into
the night
phase. So this is where all the action happens, essentially. You're going to then play your other remaining cards from your hand down for the night action, which usually has attacking, could have recovery. Then you go from the person who has the highest iStone, and that person goes first, and then you assign attack damage to whatever kingdom you wanted to go for. So then those person would tick down on their health track, and then if they go past a heart, you can then get a treasure. Which is really cool. And we kind of hit on that in the beginning. A treasure you can either take to acquire a little stuffed animal from the Bazaar, or you can choose to draw an extra card on your draw phase.
Yeah. So it's a really useful thing to have to get these treasures, and so you can strategically try and be the one to push your various opponents over that threshold, so you're the one getting all the treasure.
Treasures are also worth victory points at the end of the game. If you don't use them, they're worth 2 victory points apiece. Also, the whole point of this is to take over people's thrones, seize their thrones, and then at the end of the game, they're worth 7 apiece. And then the other really cool part about this game is everybody has a champion.
Yeah. And you've actually got a few to choose from, either 2 or 3, depending on player count. And you're going to be able to read through their abilities, and depending on certain game conditions, they'll earn you a certain amount of victory points at the end of the game, whether that's based on amount of cards that are in the trash bin, amount of spy cards that are in everybody's hand, like total.
I had the person that just gives you 15 victory points at the end of the game. And then they also give you abilities. So you have to reveal these, or you can choose to reveal your champion at the beginning of the night phase. But then after you reveal, your champion gives you usually some cool ability every night phase. Each one of these champions that you have, you choose when you want to reveal it where it makes the most sense. So that adds another cool layer. It's like adds complexity, but it's not complex. It just adds more fun strategy involved in the game.
And so that is basically it. You do the Bazaar phase one more time after the night phase, and then you run it back and you restart it for the next round. You'll shuffle up all of the cards in your discard pile with all the stuff in your draw pile. You'll draw 5 or 6 if you have a treasure to do so. And then you'll do it again, all the while trying to do damage. There's tolls, which means that when you attack someone, you have to pay them to do that. There's walls in the game, too, that you can use, which are going to be an extra layer of defense for you to prevent against 2 damage.
You discard it. So you're building up your fort. It's an extra layer. Gets knocked down from the attack. I think you have like 5 fort slots. Which you can either put tolls or walls. And so there's just a lot of cool asymmetrical abilities. There's dual cards. There's a bunch of stuffed animals.
Yeah.
And again, the end game trigger is when someone seizes half of the thrones that are out there. Plus one. So that's really cool. There's also a 2-player version where you can kind of fight the Bazaar, essentially. It's like its own area where you can seize the throne, get treasures, and then you tally up at the end of the game. And this is where you have to be kind of specific, like know when you want to try to shut the game down, because it ends immediately.
Yeah.
And then whoever has the most victory points wins. So you could take over thrones, but you might not win. So you have to try to build that up, see how it goes. So it's it's a blast, and it's coming to Kickstarter pretty soon. So keep a lookout for it. Like, subscribe, comment what your favorite stuffed animal was as growing up. Mine was a little horse named Brownie.
Aw,
Yeah.
that's cute.
I know.
I had a koala bear named Albie.
Albie.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, guys. Let us know. This is Button Kingdoms, and we're Tabletop Vibes.
We'll check you next time.